Hello and welcome to a new Herpa News video here on the channel. If I do sound a little bit more nasally than usual, then that's because I managed to catch the common cold. I do apologize for that. But before I can wallow too much in self-pity, let's focus on the news of the day, and that's of course the Herpa Wings 0102 release batch that they have announced. So the January-February release batch of 2023. Now that is an unusually small batch, even so small that Herpa themselves felt the need to actually mention that it is a small batch. The reasons for that they gave is, firstly, they said the January-February batch is always smaller than usual. The second reason they gave is that they are currently focusing on trying to catch up with some of the models they haven't released on time, so that's a good thing. And the third thing they said was that, well, they are trying to actually re-release some of the models that sold really well during the year. So I guess for those who missed some models over 2022, that could be good news as well. But don't think that every model will be re-released. Of course, we are here only talking about the standard model. So any standard model that is limited edition will never be re-released, but all other models can theoretically be re-released by Herpa Wings. But they did not go into details of what models they are working on right now. So we will just have to wait and see. But what we can take a closer look at right now are, of course, the models that they have introduced in this new release batch. So we have the Herpa News prospect in front of us, and as we can already see from the front page, there does seem to be at least one quite exciting highlight included in this release batch. One thing that should be mentioned beforehand is that it doesn't look like technically that Herpa has made any price increases this time, although that's not entirely correct, because what they have done is, of course, now average out the price for all narrow body aircraft models to be 35 euros, which I have talked about in the past is just bonkers. But yeah, in the last batch we still had a variation of prices for narrow bodies. Now they're all just 35 euros. Take it as you want. So the first aircraft model featured in this release batch is the Airbus A319 of American Airlines in the Allegheny Heritage livery. Apologies if I haven't pronounced this name correctly, I just don't seem to be able to do so. So I hope you can look past that. But this is of course the next Heritage aircraft in the American Airlines series that Herpa Wings is doing at the moment. And this of course comes at a whopping 35 euros. Then an aircraft that I'm really excited about, and I think many other collectors will be too, is the Boeing 737 MAX 8 of Iceland Air in the light blue tail livery. Of course, they have, I think, 5 different tail designs. It is not known if Herpa will do all of them, but they are at least doing the start now, finally, with this very first aircraft model in Scale 500 featuring the new Iceland Air livery. Also, this comes at a whopping 35 euros. Another 737 MAX 8, in this case in a livery of Lot Polish Airlines, is also featured in this release batch. This is a special livery, proud of Poland's independence is the name of that livery. Quite a nice looking livery. I managed to spot the aircraft in real life at Corfu in 2021, I believe. Quite nice looking aircraft, and they will now be making that in Scale 500. Then we are moving over to the Americas, where we find this special livery Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9. Also, this will of course be costing 35 euros. I think we have had quite a few special livery Alaska Airlines aircraft over the years. Of course, they do also have quite a few of those, so that makes sense. Still, I would have liked to see another standard livery aircraft model, but perhaps something for some of those collectors looking for more elaborate liveries. Then at 40 euros comes this Etihad Airways Airbus A350-1000 in a complete standard livery. So that's great news for all those like me who just like standard livery aircraft models. If I will be getting this model, honestly, I don't know. I have so many Etihad aircraft models, and we have gotten so many aircraft from Etihad Airways, from Herpa Wings over the years. So this could very well be a model that I will be skipping, especially with that price tag. But for all those who don't have a standard livery Etihad aircraft model, this is your chance. Then we have a model kind of for Oceania collectors. This is the only aircraft in this batch that at least could somewhat match that description. It is an Airbus A350-1000 in a special house color livery of Airbus. that is featuring the branding of Qantas. That is of course because this was part of the Project Sunrise, a project of Qantas where they were trying to figure out if they could make direct flight routes from Australia to, I believe, New York. And this aircraft was part of that. So if you like house color liveries and kind of fusion liveries, this might be something for you. This is, however, also the only aircraft that's in any way is connected to the Oceania region this time. And of course, also this aircraft model has the official Herpa retail price of 40 euros. And then we have two more aircraft in this release batch that are in scale 500. The first one is this Airbus A330-200 of Air Serbia, featuring the Nikola Tesla livery of the airline, which I think is quite exciting for all those who are collecting Air Serbia aircraft models. Of course, in the past they have already made the A330 that featured a different livery, but at that time it was already out of service, so that was kind of a bummer. But now we finally get a livery that actually is in use from Air Serbia on the A330. So that is quite nice, except of course for the official retail price of 40 euros. The final aircraft in scale 500 is then a DC-10, so something for those retro collectors. This is of JAT Airlines or Yugoslav Airlines. Interestingly enough, this aircraft is also named after Nikola Tesla. Maybe not that surprising given that JAT is the predecessor airline to Air Serbia. Now in this release batch there are actually 3 ATR aircraft models, however all in scale 200, and none of them really that interesting for scale 500, at least I don't believe so. But the interesting part here was actually that they were talking about, they acknowledged, yes, there are quite a few ATR models in this release batch and there will be coming more in the future, and it did sound like this would also include scale 500. Now I would of course be very excited if they finally could manage to release the Scandinavian Airlines ATR that they have announced ages ago, but in any case any ATR scale 500 aircraft models from Herpa Wings would be most welcome, so let's see if we won't get more of those in the near future. So definitely not the largest release batch that Herpa has in store for us for the 01/02 2023 release batch. There are of course a few more models in this batch. They are however scale 200, and this time there wasn't really anything of interest, at least not for me, anything I could say, oh, this model could potentially become a scale 500 model in the future. But if you are interested, I will leave the link to the prospect of Herpa Wings in the description below, so you can check out the entire release batch for yourself. But as always, what do you think? Are there any models in this release batch that you would like to add to your collection, or is this a complete miss? Let me know in the comment section below. With that, we have reached the end of today's video. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.